Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 6. Thank you, 6 of the Robbos Gobcast. So, we just want to before we start and introduce the guest. How do I? That. Until we introduce the guest, we just want to sort of say a couple of things before we go. I just want to thank, and I know Ryan will probably as well, the amount of support that we've got from the last episode. I think that's probably the best episode that we've seen on all platforms, not alone where you guys listen to it or where you see it. So thank you ever so much. What we want to try and tell you as well, and what we would like you to do, is please subscribe down there. There is a logo at the bottom right of the YouTube channel that will easily subscribe straight to the channel as well. Please subscribe. If you're on Podbean or on Apple Music or any other platforms as well, please go and like it, share it. We would like you guys to write a review, positive. We don't want any negative. All right. Negatives, no. Positive reviews, just so that we can get more people knowing about us and doing it forward. We want to be the best Reading FC podcast, and we want to be the best podcast sports, but we're not going to get there without your guys' help. At the moment, we are probably the second best behind Tarlest and bittersweet to peel, innit? So if you guys could please like, share.
You can't forget A.D. Williams.
Hold on, you're not introduced yet. Don't talk. Right, and okay, we're third behind A.D. Williams. I'll take that. Yeah. So shut up. So we just want to say thank you ever so much, and you're keeping us going and all the support. And this is the longest we haven't recorded a podcast. So I'm very excited to get back. I do really enjoy this, so thank you ever so much. So just threw my glasses on the floor somehow. I might need to go and pick them up in a minute because I might go a bit blind when I try and read. So what I would like to do is sort of introduce the guest. You guys have seen the video on Twitter of the guest that we've got on. Quite a controversial Reading fan, let's put it that way. So,
Reading fan.
Mm-hmm.
Reading fan.
If you're not watching, it is doing the quotation marks.
Reading.
Yeah. So please welcome and give some love and support to all the people that are watching today. We know that some Swindon fans. Sorry.
Who?
Oh, I nearly said the name again. I nearly vomited, so I do apologise. Fans will be watching today. So welcome to the podcast. Please like, subscribe. We will talk about you guys in the future if we really friggin' have to. So yeah.
Nah.
So we'll see if they get good.
I can talk about them.
I know you can.
Of course you can.
So if you get any good and you get near our level, we might talk about you. But until then, pipe down and get in your League One, you piece of shit. So, Will, welcome. It's nice to actually finally talk to you in person.
Video.
Over Zoom. And doing this podcast. So the first sort of question that I have for you, and I don't know much. I know Ryan knows about you a lot more than what I do. So basically, this is a little bit to start off with, a little bit.
I'm your biggest fan,
and he will follow you around till he loves you. So, what got you into football? What sort of triggered you to? What age were you? Tell us a little bit about football starting up. What got you into it?
I was when I was about 5, and dare I say it, on the Swindon town holiday camp. I think my mum just wanted me out of the house, and I just sort of got forced to go to them, and just straight away fell in love with it, and been playing it ever since.
So the question I sort of have for you, and I know Ryan will probably know a lot more as well. So what sort of got you into Swindon? Is it because you were born in the area? Was it because you're a live out there? What's with Swindon and Reading? Why we fucking hate each other? So how have you got this? You tweet it quite a lot. Let's put it that way about Swindon and stuff. So what is the Swindon connection and how is it there?
So all my family, all my dad's side of the family that were Reading based, all live there. Stuff. Both my sisters were born there, but I was born in Swindon, grew up in Swindon, village outside of Swindon, and yeah, so technically, I suppose Swindon's my local club.
So Ryan, question for Ryan as well. So how do you two know each other? When did you guys first sort of go on?
Right,
Dan
so-
Bradley.
Yeah, so we met through Dan because I took Dan to Blackpool in January, and then I went to Cardiff
It was
with
a
Dan again, and then I got the train to the Hull game with Dan as well, and that was the first time I met Will.
Oh, so you haven't known each other that long then?
No, I just stalk him very, very deeply.
So let's talk a little bit about Dan as well, because a lot of people know we as you guys probably don't know, but we have this group chat. And Dan was one of the originals. I think Will was as well.
Yeah, me and Dan sort of started it.
So it was,
I've been in it for about a month. I have no clue.
So I was at the start of it as well with Gareth as well. A few others. We've been.
Yeah, I think it was Gareth and yeah.
I can't remember. Over a year now, haven't we?
Yeah, it must have been.
So yeah, so that's how we know Dan. So I'd never met Dan, and he's going to come on the pod hopefully.
Yeah, there's an interesting story between how me and Dan know each other.
Go on.
Oh, I know this, don't I?
Do you want to explain
no,
it?
No, wasn't your dad sleeping with his auntie?
Right. I hope they were both single.
Is his dad your godfather? Or is it your dad his godfather?
His parents are my godparents. But yeah, our dad stayed like really good mates. So even when my dad had dumped his auntie, he was still going around their house and stuff. Like our dads would go out like clubbing and stuff. So how long have you and Dan sort of been friends for? Since we were born.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So the sort of next question I sort of have for you,
I'd always used to get told off by his mum, he like grew up in Reading, for talking about Swindon in their house. Saying Swindon was a swear
the obsession
word.
has been a thing for a very long time. He's nodding if you're listening.
Yeah, he's not answering. Okay, so right, we're going to change it up the next bit. We've got some fan questions that we're going to go with. Ryan, while I go and grab the glasses that I've thrown off my desk, because I know I'm going to need them. Can you start off? But what we're going to do is as well with the with the questions is we're going to say the name of the person that did it, and that was a shout out to you guys. Thank you to everyone that's Instagrammed, that's tweeted, that's gone on our Facebook page as well. I want to say that if you're listening, our social medias of all the ones that we're on, we've now recently just gone to Reddit. We're now on Reddit now as well, which is a bit exciting, a little bit different than what we normally do. All of the social medias will be in the link down below on the description. For either on the YouTube channel, definitely will be down there, and we will also put the Twitter page for Will as well, so please go and follow, and we will also be putting everyone down. We won't put the names down of who did the tweet, but you guys will listen and you know who you are when you've done it. So thank you ever so much. We're growing as well through all of our social media pages as well, and we got a target where we want to get to, where we want to beat a certain person. I know the target I want to get to, so we just need your guys' help to get there. And if you listen to the pod, you know if we tweet something out 20 minutes later, because everyone else likes it, we won't go back on what we said.
Right. So what are we doing now? Fan questions.
Go and find the
kit reveal.
Yeah. So Ryan, you ask the first question while I go and get my glasses.
All right, so I'm going on Twitter because I don't know the Instagram questions. So first one, just talking about him, but it's Dan at the top. He said, can you ask Will, why does he support Liverpool, Swindon and Reading?
Okay, so this is a question I want to know. Do you support them, or do you like the other teams, or do you actually support them?
So we'll get into this. So I've been Reading season ticket holder 12 years now, I think.
Season ticket holder, not supporter.
And also Swindon, technically my local club, if you like. So I've the first time I went to Wembley was watching Swindon lose to Millwall in the playoff final.
At least they lost. At least they lost.
I mean, the following year we lost to Swansea.
Let's not talk about that. First one at Wembley, that's all that matters, really, isn't it?
But yeah, so like, they were my first trip to Wembley. They were my first football game. You know, all of that first time playing football was like, you know, through them. So Swindon's, you know, always sort of been there. And then more recently, this season, it's just before the lockdown, I started a work placement with them. Did a week, and then everything got cancelled. But we're hoping that I'll be returning next season. But yeah, so I may be at Swindon games a bit more next season. You know,
dear. Right, I'm sick of
I did only go to 2 Swindon matches last season.
Right, and thank you for watching. And
right, there is a lady that tweeted as well. I don't want to get this name wrong. I know she's a Swindon fan. I think it's a she because it's got a picture of a woman on it. Is Honor?
Yeah,
her name.
Good mate of mine.
As she put, why does he send videos of himself singing Swindon songs to people?
Southampton.
I want to say something about this as well, because not only that, but in the 2 videos that obviously I took when we was in Southampton, in one of them you turned around and said, "I'm only filming this so I can watch them back in the morning."
Yeah, you did. I did see that. So why do you film yourself and send it out singing Swindon songs? She wants to know.
I was a little bit past it, let's say, in Southampton, and yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Are you blaming alcohol for your singing of Swindon songs?
Yes.
Okay, so go on, Ryan, next one.
Okay, so Dean replied to that, Dean Hadrill, saying...
Dino, big Dino.
Yeah. He said, why do you secretly support Swindon?
Well, I wouldn't say...
It's definitely not a secret. Support them. I'll definitely follow them. You know, it's a club that I will admit this. Swindon Town does have a small bit in my heart. Okay, so the thing that I don't get is right. And I'm gonna ask this, and it's not a question, but I want to know this. Right, is for me, I'm a Reading supporter. I love Reading. I will always support them. And if anyone says who do I support Reading. But then at the same time, I have a real soft spot for Arsenal and Liverpool because my mum supports Arsenal and half my family do, so I have a soft spot for them. And there's soft spots I have for teams around the world, but you literally can't decide. It's like supporting Arsenal and Tottenham. It just doesn't. It's like
no, for me, Reading are my team, like, and they always will be, like. And in my life, like, if I go down the sort of football management coaching route, they are like the team that it would be dream come true to sort of, you know, work for. Okay. But Swindon, you know, just sort of like over the years, have been there, and you know.
Yeah, it's fair enough. So a question I have from Tom O'Flynn. He put, does he still drink sours? If so, still a Swindon fan. Do you still drink sours?
That Saturday night, he had a bottle of sours in his hand.
He did. I saw that. That clocked.
I do have a soft spot for apple sours. I must admit.
Right. I'm going to ask the next one. This is one that I don't think you would have seen, Mark. But I just spoke to you on FaceTime, and you was the one that pointed this out to me, and you said it's going to be difficult to answer. So,
Did
Honor
I?
again. No, not you.
Oh,
Me.
Will said. Do you prefer the Welling style or the Bowen style of play?
As I've already told you, it's a very tough question. Marky Bowen, he's Super Marky Bowen, and he's taken us to the Premier League, isn't he? He's a bold manager at Reading, and there's nothing really more to say about that. Bold managers at Reading work, don't they? But
unless you're Brian McDermott on your second attempt.
there is that. But look at who we brought in.
Stam, Steve
Stam.
Clark.
Well, Stam did.
I wouldn't
Clark
say
did.
Steve. I wouldn't Clark.
You can't class Steve Clark as bold because he had hair.
Bold, but he did take us to an FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. So,
of which we came very close, and with a decent referee on the day, we definitely could have won.
yeah, if it wasn't for McCleary, we would have done better. So
he scored.
He
yeah, he should have scored another one, lazy prick. Proud to be a moonraker. I presume that's something to do with Swindon because he's got Swindon stuff on all over him. He basically put, "How did Will vote in the poll? Set and now deleted." I don't get.
In case you don't know, the poll is who's the bigger club, and it's Swindon, Oxford, Reading, and all the shit.
Yeah.
I voted for Reading. I voted for Reading.
That's fine, isn't it? I don't know how Swindon won. That's just a load of rubbish, to be honest. So that's fine. So that's basically the fans. And there's one more that just says, "Is Will the one who this is from Connor Rose at Connor Rose 05, who put, "Is Will the one that pitch invaded against Bradford in the FA Cup's quarterfinals?"
There's actually a funny story behind this.
Go on.
It was a guy called
Charlie.
I can't remember his first name. Charlie Sumner.
Yeah, I know his brother.
Sumner. Oh
well.
And I did have a lot of questions when it was sort of it was all broadcasted that he'd been arrested for pitch invading. That his surname was Sumner. But no, I didn't know who it was or anything.
That's fair enough. So yeah,
I mean, he gave us a bit of entertainment on an absolutely fantastic night of football.
Yeah,
he did. So thank you so much for all of those people. You got another one?
There is another one.
Go on.
It's not a question; it's a statement. But I think you should defend yourself here. But someone called Sonny James has confirmed to us that you have been wearing Swindon kits whilst refereeing futsal games.
Oh, I saw that. Is this true?
And in case
Sonny's
there's also this.
Sticky one.
So if you're watching the YouTube video, Ryan is holding up to the camera a picture of literally Will in what you could describe as in the in-betweeners moment. As the in-betweeners moment of a full kit wanker. So he's basically wearing a
full training kit. A full training kit wanker.
Yeah, I'd literally just come from the county ground.
What, cheering on the boys?
Of course.
Right, so thank you ever so much for everyone for asking those questions. We will be doing, when we get more fans on, this will be a regular feature. We're going to call this Fans Friday. It will have a more catchy name in the future when we can get famous. But we will get more people on, and we will do this more stuff more regularly. But at the moment, we're going to do this maybe once or twice a month just to test it out, see how it goes and how you guys react to it. So this is good.
Tell us, who do you want on next?
Who do I want on next?
No. We're asking everyone.
I recommend. I'm pushing Dan Bradley to come on the pod.
Oh, and the one thing that I haven't done, which I said I was going to, but I have a brain like a fish, is the person that made the video in the Twitter page was a guy called Ollie. everyone knows Ollie. He always does all the great graphics and videos for the players and stuff. So if you have the chance, please go and follow him. And go.
I did love that video. It was.
We had to
very
remaster a
impressive.
little bit of it with me at the beginning and me at the end. And then I had to put music over when you started singing the Swindon song because it just went quiet. But we definitely did say that, and he definitely used the correct music. He did everything right. So thank you ever so much, Ollie, for that. That was beautiful.
Top video.
All right, so let's go into this. Right, so who is your favourite Reading player of all time?
All time. Favourite Reading player? Oh, it's a tough one, that.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to ask you the question while he's thinking as well. This is basically me trying to talk to both of you to try and get to know you both a bit more. Ryan, who's your favourite player as well of all time? While Will thinks.
Leroy Lita.
Oh, that's a good shout. He's a beautiful man. Especially that tape. I mean, what tape? I remember that. That was... So Leroy Lita for you. So who was yours, Will?
Joby McAnuff.
Oh, that's a shout.
Really?
I still get goosebumps from that video. And
when he runs to the camera.
Terrific, yeah.
You don't need to say.
We up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
still
beautiful.
goosebumps.
So for anyone who actually cares, I don't think you lot do, but I'm just going to say anyway. My favourite player of all time, I think for me it has to be Ibrahima Sonko.
Superman.
The bloke, for me, he was the reason that I loved I was a defender at the time when I used to play football. Now you can see by the build, I just don't play football anymore. But when I was younger, I used to be a defender, and then I didn't really get on. But with him, I just absolutely loved him. So what is both of you? So this is a pod for both of you as well at the same time as for. I know which one. I think I know what Will's going to answer with this, but I'm going to ask anyway. So what is your favourite Reading moment? Okay, so we're going to do two parts of this question. Favourite Reading moment for both of you that you've seen live. And the second one is, what is your favourite Reading moment you may that you can use that maybe as a second one, but you may or may not have seen live?
So my favourite moment live.
I think I know this one for you.
What do you reckon it is?
I reckon it's a Southampton game.
Southampton.
Yeah.
For me, that's probably going to have to be that I haven't seen live because I wasn't there.
It's mine and Dan's first ever away game. So what an away game as well.
Fun fact about that game is, that year when we got promoted to the Premier League, and when Match of the Day titles come through, and when Match of the Day come through, there was that flag for Reading that was waving, right? And when it was coming on up, that flag was me. Right,
and
that was that Southampton game was me. It was me and three of my other mates that went to that game, and we were hammered. we were. My mate was at uni there at the time, so we started drinking around about.
Hold on, I've just got to go quickly.
All right, so that's fine. So with Ryan, with you, who is your favourite Reading moment?
Oh, that's such a tough question because there's literally so many. Like, I could name countless for you. When I was mascot, when we played Wigan at home, met Emil Heskey.
Living out.
Yeah. Murty's penalty against QPR.
KSI ruined Emil Heskey. Anyway.
Yeah, Murty's penalty against QPR when he knocked out Kingsley after.
Yeah,
Lita's overhead kick against Palace. Joby McAnuff,
this was literally just before my time now.
So there is a lot. So for me, the best moments was I was at the Leicester away where
you were at that match.
Yeah, I was at the back. And when we got secure promotion, and we were still in the stadium about an hour after the full-time whistle, which was amazing. I was there. I saw Sonko score. I think it was Sonko or Ingemasa scored a header nearly outside of the box at Old Trafford. I saw Ashley Cole try and clear the line, but hit Essien's bum with the ball and went in as an own goal against.
I was there for both.
2-2
that game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was at that. Southampton away will probably be as one of the most. I think I would never go to Southampton away as my most excited, because before the 106 was electrifying. Every home game.
That
was
that 106 season, that Leicester game you just said about when we got promoted, I was there, but the reason I'm saying it's not my favourite is because I was in Leicester End because we couldn't get tickets. But we was like right next to the Reading fans, and after the game we just went up to the steward and was like, "Yeah, we're Reading fans. Can we go in?" And they let us through.
Yeah, and that was probably top of my list, and that was probably one of the best experiences. But there's been a lot. The 106 season at the beginning when we lost to Plymouth, and we all thought it was never going to happen, and then
here we go again.
Unbelievable start. So that's
bold managers at Reading, isn't it?
I don't think it's bold manager. I think Steve Coppell had what he wanted, and it worked.
It's the sum of the parts.
It's just everything about it. It was the recruitment. Like, obviously, it was before my time. Like, it was a Reading, a proper Reading fan. But looking back on it, the recruitment, Doyle and Long.
Long never played.
Swindon Town could never.
See, the funniest thing was with that was Long was a 6-year project.
Yeah, like obviously he was into the academies.
Yeah, he went straight in, and then we had Noel Hunt.
That move.
Yeah, we had Stephen Hunt that come in.
One thing
I'll
take
it back. My favourite moment: Stephen Hunt's knee against Petr. I was at that one. Best moment.
Oh wow!
Matiovski's goal against Liverpool. One that come up today.
Yeah, I was at that game. That was epic. Do you want to know a fun story behind that? 2 seats behind me was my little brother. My little brother, he's 18 now, but my brother was at primary school when we were doing that, and his primary school teacher was sat 2 rows behind me, and I didn't see her. I didn't know she was there. And then I had a thing where if we scored, my belly would come out every single time, every away game. It was always a thing with me. My belly would come out, waving it around and everything. And I did it against Liverpool. I was doing that, and I looked around, and she was stood there, and I went, "Oh, our clothes are going back on. They're not staying off." And then I got insulted by Liverpool fans calling me a fat bastard and all that. That was fun.
You're going to have to come into the South Stand at some point just so we can have the away fans doing that.
That could be interesting. So,
I'm just going to say one thing about that as well. All you got to say, Kevin Doyle, Shane Long, £18,000.
Can't get it that these days.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
Won't ever happen like that again. It won't ever happen like that again. So, another question for you that I have here as well is for both of you, and we'll all answer it together. This is not just about whatever, but we'll do it. Yeah. Who's your least favourite Reading player of all time? One that you wish never wore the blue and white.
John Oster.
Oh no, you cannot diss Oster.
No.
He was useless, but
I know you're not gonna like me for this.
Who, me?
I know you like him, but I never liked Ulysses De La Cruz.
Oh, he was all right. He weren't great.
He was awful.
He weren't awful.
He was awful.
He did the job he needed to. He wasn't great.
So does Chris Gunter.
No.
And you say he's hopeless.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh, here we go.
No, we're not getting to that. It's about Will. So, Will, who is... we'll get to that in a minute, by the way. Will, who is your least favourite?
I absolutely love the guy. I've had some great chats with him on Twitter and stuff. But in recent years, ahead of the 18-19 season, I think, for me, David Myler. So I think it just sort of summed up like everything that was going on at the club at that time. Like, I've full respect for the guy, like, and everything, but I just think that sort of transfer and the way that it all went about, we'll
talk about that.
And for him as well, I think it would have been better as well if he never came to Reading.
Yeah, it was one of those moves that it's a bit of those moves that were like bit of a Reading used to do in the past. When we had like Martin Keown and Les Ferdinand, people that were end of their careers that would end. That would come in.
You say that he was only like 30 or something, 29.
I can't remember. But you would normally get those sort of players at the end of their career that would just come in,
Yeah.
help out the youngsters, help them out, show them what mentality they had, and then just go away. But
I think
yeah, go on.
for all parties it was a wrong move, and in the end, he picked up a career-ending injury in training.
Yeah, he didn't. It all sort of spiraled out of control. For me,
He was too worried about FIFA.
yeah. Who was my least favourite player?
Don't you dare say it. Don't you dare say it.
You don't need to think. It's Gareth McCleary.
It's not, though.
Is it not? Wow.
No.
Wow.
Because the only thing, I've said this before on previous pods, and I'll say it again, it's not that I don't like him as a player, because he's lost it. I don't like him because of his attitude.
We'll
And
come
he
on to
proved,
that.
we will. And we will come on to that. I'm prepared for this, so don't worry. Ryan knows.
Me and you both.
So for me, with McCleary, it's his attitude, and he definitely proved his attitude with that leaving message, and it riled. And it's not just me that think that as well, because if you looked at the messages that went after Chalk Redding put I'm moving around like a headless chicken because his chair just flying everywhere. The reason why I say that is because if you look at all the retweets of Talk Redding's post of what he put up, it's just showing you of how much of a baby he become. He started blocking everyone. He started just digging at the club for no reason. He liked a tweet 3 weeks before he was released that said that he was leaving, so he knew he was going. I won't have.
I definitely think he searches his own name.
Oh yeah, he Googles himself up. He thinks he's Mandingo of the world. I think he's a dickhead. But I think the person who I dislike the most, and I wouldn't ever like to see, is Chris Martin.
Oh, that's a shout out. You see, I feel sorry for Chris Martin.
The player or the singer?
Singer I like. Is it Coldplay in it?
Yeah,
I like Coldplay. So it's definitely the player.
But with Chris Martin, what a lot of people didn't know, he was actually very ill during his time.
Oh, he was just fat.
No, he did. He had a proper problem. Like he was quite ill.
Yeah, overweight.
Overweight. I have that problem too. It's called stop eating. I have that problem. So right. So there was a thing that you tweeted and the thing that you the thing that you Snapchatted me that you wanted to talk about is Liam Kelly. This was one of your topics you wanted to talk about. So explain to me why you wanted to talk about the young little him.
Where everyone says that he's a very overrated player, I'm gonna put into the basket. I think he's a very underrated player.
All right. Without me trying not to laugh, which I'm really trying not to, as you probably see by my face. But how did you get to that presumption if he's very underrated?
I think he was put in a tough situation where he was 16, 17. He was very hyped up player. And I think that sort of put him in a tough one where he had all this hype around him. He got to the point, I think, he asked Joey Vandenberg to borrow his Rolex just to take a picture in the when he was signing his new contract.
Yeah. That was never confirmed that it was him, though.
It was never confirmed, but
he was the only one that wore a Rolex in his signing.
Yeah. Of that summer, yeah. And I think I do feel a little bit sorry for him because I think during his time at Reading, he's been a very good player. And especially when Gomez came in, I'm not sure if you watched that match against Man United. He was my man of the match that day. He completely controlled the whole part, like the whole way that Reading played. He was perfect.
I'm just going to jump in here and say, at the other end of the spectrum, what about that game against Sheffield United where he was subbed off after about 35 minutes because he was playing crap?
Yeah, but everyone has those.
Okay, so let's talk about it, shall we? So while you talked, I've got stats from a few players and doing stuff. So let's talk about Liam Kelly then. So during his time at Reading, he had he started 66 games and come off the bench 16 times in the league. he got 7 goals. In the FA Cup, he come off the bench. He started twice. In the League Cup, he played 6 times altogether and got 2 goals. So in his time at Reading, he's got a goals per game that's just not worth reading.
He had a cracking strike on him.
But then he never used it. He used it once or twice.
Who's this, sorry?
Liam Kelly.
Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
So if he was a very underrated player, then when he moved to Feyenoord, which was undisclosed and no one really knows.
Yeah, it was a wrong move.
No. You want to discuss? I'm going to give you facts.
Yeah. All right.
He went on loan to Feyenoord, which is probably one of the biggest jobs I should get. And he got brought. He played once. He started once for him. He then went on loan in January to Oxford on the 8th, which he was in multiple games, and he only started once, and he come off the bench twice, and he scored 1 goal off the bench in the FA Cup. I think that was against Newcastle with a free kick.
Newcastle free kick.
I think that was a good goal. But the thing with Liam Kelly is he's another one like Danny Loader, and I think that this is the sort of conversation we need to sort of have with what's going on with our academy. Is he's very much of the hype. Yes, he's going to do wonders, but we're not playing them in the right position for them to get to the potential. It's not like with Danny Loader as well, where he's going to go on to be bigger and better things, and we're going to regret treating him the way that we did. He's going to go on to with him. The reason why he's overrated is because of his attitude, and the reason why his attitude and everything about that is someone that, not as you just said, he asked someone for a Rolex to put into a contract signing.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about what you wear and a contract signing. All we care about is you signed one, quality. Now go and
How long is it?
Yeah. How long are you staying here for? And not how long are you staying here for, but now go and produce. Go and show us you're that player. It's not like we've sent him out and he's gone to a bigger club or a lower club and actually started playing games. He went to Oxford and did nothing. So
to be fair, going to a side, it's like already like sort of thriving in the league, like Oxford were like that with their playoff push. It's very hard to then get into an already.
But then you say that, but then if you have the mentality of someone that's played in a higher division and you're bringing them in on loan, it means that they want you to get into the starting 11 to show your creativity and how you do it. And obviously something's in training. He does something in training that no one rates him. And he does something in there that makes his attitude must be to do something. And that's why he's not, as I would describe, as not top quality because of his attitude. And that's the only thing is if he sorts out his attitude and does something, and he will always be a Reading. I will never boo him if he turns up because he's a Reading boy and a Reading bred. Unless you completely disrespect the club, then
been at the club since he was 7 years old and all that.
Danny Loader, if he ever comes back, he shouldn't get booed. He went on and wanted to do better things because Reading weren't preparing that. So that's my little thing. So
but
he will be.
I remember
he will be.
He will be.
So will Kelly. It's just the fact of it.
I think Kelly's missed his opportunity. I think he
doesn't deserve it, but it's the Reading thing to do, isn't it? Our fans always do it. I'm pretty sure when we played Brighton,
Sean Morrison's a prime example.
Yeah,
Sean Morrison, he never put in a request or anything to leave.
Yeah, but he's a
Morrison and Lafondra both got sold to pay the tax bill.
But Morrison's a bellend, and he's proven he's a bellend.
So the other one, I'm pretty sure 4 or 5 years ago when we last played him, Brighton had Steve Sidwell. I'm pretty sure we booed him.
Oh, I would put it against Reading to do that because we have. And I will hopefully admit we've got one
legend.
Yeah, we've got one of the worst fan bases going because they're just all fickle and idiots. And I think the issue is there's no middle ground between Reading fans. You get the older generation, probably like myself, and a little bit before that know about all right, so you've got three generations at Reading at the moment. You've got the Elm Park people that always look back at old crappy stadiums and want to lick. Then you've got the people that like myself that have been around 15, 20 years. And enjoyed all the highs and lows and done everything and gone through. Then you get the now generation that are coming through, the 16 and under people that I call it. They're the people that just turn up, want to boo everyone, want to fight every 5 minutes to do everything.
God, and then I'm a boomer.
Yeah, you are.
Because I'm in that 15, 20 generation that you said about. But I like the old stadium.
Yeah,
It's
but
like we had
so
this
you get-
discussion
so-
yesterday
Yeah, so
about Griffin Park.
I can't stand it.
I love it.
Ooh,
I love it.
I do love it. I love an old terrace.
Oh,
like
we need to.
terraces and-
People need to sort their nut out, right? I'm sick
Tell you
of
what.
standing up at old grounds, going, and it's all falling apart. I love going to a new stadium that someone's built for a specific reason and actually looks like a proper stadium instead of four little cinder blocks that people have just fucking put together because they can.
Tweet us what you think.
I cannot wait to go to Kenilworth Road. Is it? I think that's how you say it.
Kenilworth
Luton.
Road, yeah.
Yeah,
I want to
Luton
go to. I want to go to
Town,
Luton because that's the only one I haven't been to Luton yet. And I really want to go to that. So that's one of them.
I'm really gutted. I missed Burton Albion away a few years ago.
That was such a good away day.
Yeah,
I remember.
About that.
Funny thing about that away day, you know, Brighton had to beat Villa to win the league, and they conceded really late on. And Villa's quite near Burton, so we were driving on the M whatever it's called, and every
M6.
time we passed a Brighton fan, I had an empty milk bottle in the bag, started waving at them.
Oh, Mr. Hardfard over there. Right, so we're gonna talk. So now we've done that, and it's been quite a nice conversation having so far.
Because it's controversial between us as well. Tweet us and tell us what you think about the old stadiums. Because
tweet us, comment.
I'm sticking to you can't beat an old shithole.
You can.
I fully agree. The shitholes are the best away days.
All right, so the best away day, apart from all the other, no. As in a purpose and as in relief for me was when I went to the Etihad. I went to the Etihad to see Reading before Man City decided to spend absolutely billions. And I went there again and something else when they had their money. But we went there and Leroy Lita scored 2. I think he scored 2 or he scored a winner in the 87th minute.
Yeah, we won.
Against City.
Against City.
Yeah, because they had the Swedish keeper, Iaxson in goal, didn't they?
So he ran towards the fans, right? And he jumped into the fans. What you don't see, and the cameras cut away, which is really frustrating, was I was the bloke that he cupped his hand around his face with, and I kissed him on the forehead.
And that's where his tape came from.
Yeah, and then I was the one who filmed it. But I remember that was one of the most surreal and memorable. I've been to the Emirates. I think that's a fantastic stadium. I've been to Highbury. That was a stadium and a half. That was.
I'm gutted I never got to go to Upton Park.
Oh, I went there. I saw Reading win.
Love Upton Park.
In there, yeah. It's more better when.
Did you go to the Did you go to the game at Upton Park where we beat them 1-0 and Solky Hyun scored from the edge of the box?
Yeah, I was at that one. And there was one that was the final day of the season, and we won as well. I was dressed up as Darth Vader. I had about 6 layers on, and it was boiling hot, and I sweated.
Was that before Inflatables Day? Everyone just dressed up and stuff.
No, yeah. When Inflatables happened, we used to dress up. Do characters and stuff, and do.
Do you remember when Hartlepool all went dressed as bananas in pajamas?
Yeah, that was brilliant. So now we've got that sort of topic out with. So I know we're going to have quite a few differences of opinions on this part as well. So this is basically talking about the start of this season. It seems a year now. It's been a year. So much has happened in between that. So we're going to try and talk about the start of the season with the people that got exiled. We're going to talk about now, and we want to talk about Gomez himself, the most beautiful, God-creating man ever. So I just want to get your opinion on. We'll talk about the exiled after this, but we want to talk about Gomez to start off with both of you, because I know that maybe you both have differences of opinion on me. Everyone knows my opinion. I think we should have given him time. He's proven.
You fantasize about him.
Oh, every night. If I make love to the missus, I picture him. So with him, he's proven. He's gone to Portugal. He saved the team that was about to get relegated. He's now gone to Spain. Who's now going to go and get them promoted into La Liga.
Is that in the playoffs?
He's in the playoffs. Yeah, so he's about to go and get them up through the playoffs. So what was your thoughts about Gomez?
I was like every other Reading fan. I absolutely loved that man. From the 18-19 season when he came in, It was a Nottingham Forest game. I think we all fell in love with him, didn't we?
Mm.
We were on 2-0. They went down to 9 men. It was just absolute
That was a
class
mental
day.
game. That was. I can't
It,
remember that.
it was. I think Swift got 2-footed about 4 or 5 times in that match.
Probably deserved it.
I remember
If you
one
can't
of
beat them,
Kill him.
yeah.
I remember one of them. It was I think he like rouletted Danny Fox, and then
Oh
Danny
yeah.
Fox just went off his head and just like wiped him.
Completely kicked him in the air, didn't he?
Just
Yeah.
talking about like winding up other teams. What about Jimmy Kebe pulling up his socks against
Oh,
West
what a
Ham?
day! What a day!
Oh, was that game?
Brilliant. Yeah, I was there as
game.
well.
That was something else. That was so. So do you think Gomez should have had more time? Do you think he had the correct amount of time and did wrong? What was your opinion?
It's a sticky one. There's 2 parts to it. I think for his record, it was very bad. Like, it was badly bad.
Okay, so if you look at his record compared to Bowen's, Bowen's only lost 2 less games than Gomez.
He's won.
There is
Not by a lot.
But still,
there is that, but I think Gomez jointly with Clement has had like one of the worst win percentages or something ever in like our club's like recent history. And really, for a club that spent big money, like, yeah, we only spent money on 2 players, but the wages of some of the other players, they were big. So with the money that we did spend in the summer, to win 2 games in the first sort of 2.5 months of the season, that's unacceptable, really. Then saying that, you can sort of see where he's coming from when he said he's sort of like unhappy that he didn't get to have a pre-season with any of those players, and with those new players coming in, it sort of put the players that he had in pre-season and that he wanted at a disadvantage. Then he's saying that he wanted to use those players, but that Sheffield Wednesday game, I was watching that in Marbella on iFollow. That was absolutely shit. We had a good start to the game, and it was after that Yeardom penalty claim, you know, when Maisie Boys saved it on the line. Penalty, I don't know how the ref's not even given a penalty. He clearly saw it. It was after that it all just went downhill because they had that Kadeem Harris, Sheffield Wednesday, and he absolutely tore us apart. Yeah. The funny thing about that was there's like loads of pictures of Zhao, Bowen, and Gomez all like chatting and laughing at half time, and then second half he comes off the bench.
And there's all those pictures at the end of the game with him outside Medeski waiting to go in and speak to someone with the fee being agreed. So Gomez didn't do well. So you wanted to talk a little bit more, I know, about the subject on McCleary, Gunter, Baldock, McNulty, and Myler. We've all heard
Sam Smith.
Yeah, but we don't class them because they're not relevant. We could put Manone in there as well because he was. He was outstanding us. So what I want to do for you is I want to read out some stats for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So hold on. So I want to warn people that are watching that my glasses only have one sort of thing because my daughter accidentally broke it. So I have to put them on, and it sort of balances. Not really, but it does, right? So Gareth McCleary, I'm reading off my phone while we talk this, right?
Yeah.
So during his 270 appearances for Reading, this accounts appearances from the bench, and when he starts as well for the whole 8 years I was here. He never gained a promotion. He never gained a relegation, and he only scored 27 goals.
He got relegated in the Premier League, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he got a relegation, so that's put me down more on his estimation. And he's got 27 goals in 270 appearances. So then Chris Gunter, he played 314 times. I'll punch you. I will punch you in the. I will punch you in the. I will punch you in the face. He played 314 times. He got 17 assists and he got 4 goals. And probably 314 times that he's played got like a 4 out of 10. So then we want to talk about Baldock, where me and Ryan were having this sort of discussion earlier, but we want your input as well, where he's played 51 times for the club, including bench appearances. And I'm not going to say assists because it didn't pop up for me when I looked for him. So I'm not going to say anything about his assists. Oh, I added an extra page. I don't want to do that. And he's got 11 goals in 51 appearances.
Right.
For a guy that think he can talk out loud on a radio and get away with it. And then we've got Vito Manone.
All right.
Vito Manone that's had 47 appearances. He only played 1 year for Reading. And we signed him for 2 million. And he only kept 14 clean sheets in that time, including that goal that he will always be remembered for the fault for against Ipswich at home in that 4-1 loss. Then you got.
No, there was a couple, wasn't there? There was the Burton Albion match, the 1-1, no, the 2-1 loss. Oh, that goal was shocking. And then opening day of the season, Mason Mount's shot for Derby, it's gone like under him, and that's how they equalised. If you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. I did Liam Kelly, but we spoke about him already. So this is a bit of a more controversial one that we will talk a little bit more as well. So Mark McNulty, okay. So for his appearances just for Reading, he's played 15 times. Okay, 4 of them were starts, 9 of them were off the bench, and he got 1 goal. For Hibernian, for the 2 loan spells, we've combined them. New subscriber. Sorry, just on top of my phone. But anyway, really professional. So sorry. So for Hibs, he played 25 times and got 12 goals, which is very good.
How many?
12 goals, in 25 appearances. So for me, that's very good. But he was playing in the Farmers League, so it's fine. And then he went to Sunderland, played for them, and in 21 appearances, he only got 5 goals. So in total, including...
A lot of them were off the bench, I'm pretty sure.
No, he started 7 times for him. He started 7 and he come off the bench 8. So a little bit mix and match there with that one. So in 61 games, he got 18 goals, which we worked out to be roughly the same amount as Puskas.
3.2 goal every 3.28 games.
Yeah, and we worked out it to be roughly the same as Puskas's ratio this season. Only been in England 1 season in a league that he's never played in before, and McNulty's been here all of his life. So let's go through the players one by one then. So Gareth McCleary, everyone knows my opinion. I'm not going to say any more unless you're wrong, which then I will. So what is your opinion on McCleary then?
Legend.
Club legend.
I'm going to punch you, T. I promise you. I will punch you, T.
I feel that past few seasons, McCleary's been very unlucky with injuries. He broke his foot or ankle against Sheffield United, 17-18 season.
You can't remember.
And then
he probably blocked me then.
Took him nearly a good year, I'm pretty sure, to get back up to fitness from it.
Okay, so would you class him as a good sir? Would you class him as someone that's come into a club when he was paid for, wasn't paid, but he come in for free, and did what he was meant to do? Do you think he lived up to what he was meant to do here?
Yeah.
So his Okay, so think about. I'm taking my glass. You made the glasses come off. So think about this logic. Think about this as in a statical and a player point of view. A player is brought in to progress the club. Okay, to take the step forward to help them push on. He come in and got relegated, and then nothing else. So we haven't. So
that can't be left on him though.
Okay, so you look at that. Okay, so but then if there was no Kevin De Bruyne for Man City, Man City wouldn't be doing as well. If there was no John Swift this season, hold on, I haven't finished that. If there was no John Swift this season, Reading would have been relegated. Let's be honest with each other. I'm a big fan of selling Swift, but at the same time, I look at it and the bloke's had 1 brilliant season that's kept us in this division for what he did during the whole season. The bloke didn't bring anything. If it also looks at it as well, if you have 3 managers that come in and drop them in a row. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at both points.
Just to argue that a bit, though, you don't last as many managers as he did if you're not doing something right.
Yeah.
If he was awful, he would have left 4 years ago.
I'm not saying he's awful. I'm not saying he's bad. What I'm saying is...
but you know what I mean.
I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is he come in to do a job and never did it. He was coming in to bring this club the next step forward, and it never happened. Yes, thank you for the goal that you scored against Arsenal. There was 2 people that scored that day, but thank you for everyone talking about that. And thank you for that one goal that didn't mean nothing against a team that was going up anyway, that didn't actually do anything against Burnley. Thank you for your service for doing that. But let's be honest, mate.
QPR.
Yeah, but no one gives a crap about that. So he's just another one. So, all right, let's
2
talk
goals
about...
against QPR, home and away.
Yeah, to be fair, they were good goals. He scores a good goal when he wants to. When he's up for it, he's a quality player. But 90% of the time, it's shit.
The goal against Luton this season, I thought that was class. Like the pace to sort of get away.
It was 1-on-1.
Yeah, no,
yeah, but he doesn't do well at
picked up
1-on-ones, as we learn against.
No. I will agree if it was a good goal. The goalkeeper didn't know how to close his legs. He was like a prostitute on a Friday night. He had the motion. I'm not. I would disagree. So Chris Gunter, I think.
Legend.
I'm gonna punch you. I'm actually gonna punch you. So what's your thinking of Chris Gunter?
I think that he's been a very underrated player in his time at Reading.
I agree.
Okay. Oh, okay. Why?
Are you asking me or Will?
Both of you.
I think that going back from the 13-14 season to this season, he's been one of the best right backs or full backs. He played both sides in the Championship.
Oh, you're saying this to annoy me. You don't believe that. Surely you don't believe that.
I do, and I think that 16-17 season, he was very unlucky not to get into the Championship team this season.
Ryan, please.
Because I can tell he's kind of taking a piss a little bit. But
I'm not.
Are you actually? Are you actually being serious?
Yeah, I think he's a top class right back.
Right. The point I was going to make, because I do agree that he's underrated. Like we spoke about it last time.
All right, go on.
I think he was always one of our most reliable players. The fact that what year did he join? 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every transfer he joined the position that we never had to improve was right back. Because we had a solid option there already.
Okay. So he joined in 7th of July at 2012 for $2.5 million. McCleary come for free. I think it was something to do included in the deal with. So no, I lie about that.
I'm pretty sure he was out of contract.
So McCleary come the 16th of May on a free, and Chris Gunter come a month later, May, June, July, 2 months later, in July for $2.5 million. So you're both utter wrong. You both talk utter rubbish. I love you both dearly, and I will. But shut up. He is not been consistent. He is the.
I do absolutes.
No, you don't. You talk shit. He's been one of the most constant 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 right backs in the league. He has never been any better than that. The only thing the bloke can do is if someone actually runs at him and puts pressure on him, is he turns around his own corner flag and falls over. And we call it the Gunter because he can't do anything else. He can't cross the ball. He wasn't very good at crossing. He wasn't very good. The only good thing he could do was have that weird-ass run that he used to do before a game or a corner flag, turn around and run back. That's all the running he bloody
clap the fans.
do that.
Yeah.
No, I won't ever accept.
I think Chris Gunter is summed up by Stevenage away.
You're going to have to tell us more.
Yeah, you're going to.
0-0 draw in the FA Cup. Absolutely shocking performance. All the other players are walking off the pitch. Even Paul McShane, the club captain, walking off the pitch. Gunter goes and rallies them all up and actually takes them over to the fans. They've all walked off the pitch after shaking hands with the Stevenage players without even going over to the fans. Chris Gunter goes and gets all the players to go over to the fans and thank them and stuff.
Listen, I won't ever. I think he's been a good servant. McCleary hasn't been a good servant. I think he's lower than that. I think he just turned up for 8 years, got a massive paycheck, and went home. Chris Gunter was a very good servant. He was the one he's the one that I respect the most out of all the people that got dropped, because not only did he just get on with it, he didn't put anything over social media. He didn't ever say anything in the press conference. He never said anything bad. He just went, I'm here to do a job, and I'm going to do it the best that Chris Gunter can, which isn't very good, but he does it. And I will always be very respectful for Chris Gunter for saying, okay, well done. You got on with it. You did your bit. You didn't do what you were brought in to do, but you did your bit, and thank you very much. But now fuck off. So let's talk about Sammy Baldock. He was another one that got released, that was dropped down. So what's your opinions on Mr. Sammy Baldock?
Sam Baldock, I think you cannot doubt his work ethic. He will chase every ball down. Mm-hmm. Look at his history. He knows how to score goals. Mm-hmm. But I think he's been very unlucky this season. He was in a weird position at the start of the season. He was exiled from the squad, mm-hmm. but Gomez still used him in cup games.
I've got 2 questions for you.
Yes.
For Will. Mm-hmm. One, was he right with what he said after the Blackburn game? And right. 2, should he be playing next season? Should he be in the starting lineup next season?
Yes to both of those questions.
Starting? Do you mean starting as in the first 11? Hold on.
Oh, no,
I want to clarify something.
I think he should be here next season. Starting, obviously, that all depends on form, everything. But I think that he should be a Reading football player next season.
All right, Ryan, what do you think? Do you think he should be here? Okay, so I know your answer because we discussed this on the pod.
Yeah.
I think a couple of episodes ago, we went more into detail on that. But we are going more into detail on that on Monday for everyone listening. With Courtney, we just want to have his little bit of his knowledge of press conferences, what you sort of have to do and the etiquette and everything, and how he got away with what he was saying. So, Ryan,
Courtney was saying that he was very surprised the club's media officer didn't step in.
Yeah.
But I think that if he did step in, that would look worse on the club. Okay,
so the question I have for you is, well, no, yeah and no, but it does look bad on the club, but at the same time, that's their job to stop idiots doing what he did. So do you think we've been linked with Pedro Mendes coming up. Do you still think
I'm very excited. Who, Baldock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really think the club want him here?
No.
Both of you? Okay, so you don't think the club are going to want him here, but if the club don't want him here, by the sounds of things, then they're happy to do whatever they want to get rid of players, by the sounds of things so far.
Right, I don't think the club don't want him here, but I think there's 2 different things that they want. I think, the club want him to play 15 games, he wants to play 25, and they're quite far apart in that sense, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but we paid £3 million for him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to sit on the bench for that money, and I think that shows that's a credit to him as a footballer. He doesn't want to be one of those players sat on the bench.
Yeah, that's what makes me think
getting 20k a week. He wants to be out there playing for this club, and that showed it with the Blackburn game. He's come off the pitch. He's got, I think, 1 goal and 1 assist.
Great goal as well.
And assist, yeah, they're both terrific.
Okay, so next season, let's talk about next season. We'll quickly go back as well to it in a sec, but as we're on Baldock, we'll stick with it. Next season, if Pedro Mendes comes in, we will have Puskas, João, Sam
I think
Baldock.
if
Hold on,
Mendes
I haven't
comes
finished
in,
yet.
all right, love.
All right, so I'm going to start again. But Puskas, Jow, Sam Smith, Sammy Baldock, Pedro Mendes, Mark McNulty. Anyone else I'm missing? So that's 6. Mate's found him as a winger. He's basically a winger now.
Right.
So Mate then. So that's 7. That's 7 strikers that will be here next season. Who will be here? Out of all of those 7, who will still be here?
I really want to see Sam Smith and McNulty give it a go this summer, but I think Bowen's already confirmed that McNulty's definitely going to have a pre-season to prove himself.
I don't rate Smith.
Yeah, I know you don't. You're weird. I do like a bit of Sam Smith, to be fair. Not the singer. I think he's an
I was about to say, he's a bit of a
he's an
weirdo.
absolute dickhead. But Sam Smith, the football player, I think that he's definitely got something to give. He's been playing in a very poor Cambridge team this season. Not much he can do about that.
But he hasn't been getting in the team.
When he has, though, he's scored goals. I think he's scored about 12 goals this season.
All right. So you think they're going to be given a chance? I don't think Baldock will be here. I don't think Sam Smith will be here. I think Pedro Mendes is going to come in.
I think they're both entering the final year of their contract, aren't they, Baldock and Smith?
Yeah, and I think they need the cash on them now. And let them go, even if it's for pennies. But that means we'll get more of the wages back.
The thing with Baldock that makes me think, obviously with what he said, clearly he wants to play. I feel like he could be one of them players where give him next season, he'll have a good season, and he might actually take a pay cut.
No!
To get first team football.
No, clearly, he won't take a pay cut. He won't take a pay cut. He's one of those players, but he won't take a pay cut.
He clearly wants to play football. If he's getting first team football here, then he will. That's my opinion.
I don't think he should. I don't think he's good enough.
I think if Mendes comes in, though, Puskas will go.
Oh God, no! Mendes is coming in for Puskas.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If Mendes comes in,
for him, for them two to work together.
Oh,
that's
do you reckon?
where they're bringing.
What about Jow, though? You don't spend $5 million.
His injury situation is very unpredictable. And with him, if we've got a backup to Jow, I think I put stats on the Robbos Gobcast, so go and check him out. And the bit about his game is if you look at the clips and stuff of what I've seen, and I know a bit about Portuguese football because I love looking at Portuguese football, the youth teams, because they're just so good at how they train them and do stuff. When I was a coach, I used to look them up and learn from how they do things. And Pedro Mendes fits Jow type of player, and he does want another Jow type of player, to someone to work with Puskas.
But can Mendes play on his own or in a pair? Because
I think he can do whatever. Yeah, I think next season it's going to be a pair. I think because of Puskas and the money he's on, and with it, I think he's going to have to. So we think Puskas is going to be there. Victor Manone's gone, deservedly so. He was absolute shite.
17-18 season, he had a fairly decent. He was
the only
okay
season he's played for us, and thankfully, according to one of the things anyway. But then we've got Mark
18-19. Because 18-19 we had 4 keepers. We had him, Yakola, Sam Walker.
Was Bond still there at the time? Or was he gone?
No, Bond had gone. And Emi Martinez. Oh, can we just put a mention in for Emi Martinez? What a player. Just think, we were close to signing him on a permanent deal last summer.
I know.
How? How?
What a keeper. What a keeper.
I don't know. It's absolutely brilliant. And I think we have to give a big shout out to Kia for bringing those deals in the January transfer window. So
Kia gets a lot of hate on Twitter. I think he's been really good for him.
Exactly. I think I agree with you. So just before, because I know you haven't got that much time left before you have to go and do something. So we've got a couple more questions. We're going to do a quick fire couple of questions for you. So do you think Bowen's been a success?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you think we will? How do you think we finish this? Did you like not like the way we finished the season? But do you see what Bowen wants to do by the end of the season by the players he wants to bring in? Do you think we will be successful next season? Okay. And do you
successful as in a top half push in playoffs? I think we could get playoffs next season.
Okay. Another question as well that I haven't wrote down, but I would like to know your thinking is: do you think? And I've got a few more here. Swift, do you think he'll be here next season?
Yeah.
So do I. I said it from the beginning, and I never doubted myself.
And also, I think we'll get him on a new 5-year contract as well this summer.
Jesus.
Okay. He ain't gonna be here. He won't be here. He'll be gone. He'll be playing Premier League football next season for Villa or Sheffield United because that's where he wants to be. That's where he'll go. Liam Moore, will it be here next season?
I'd say 5 million plus add-ons. Happy days. Thank you very much.
Bye. Yeah. I mean, Liam Moore.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going. I was like, Jesus Christ.
No.
I was like, oh, hold on. I haven't done the outro or anything yet. Jesus. So, yeah. So where do you think will be success next season? Do you think we will get? Do you think? All right. So another question that I was just thought at the top of my head: will Bowen be here at the end of next season?
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't listened to the
No, you haven't
pod we done with Courtney the other day, but we
yeah.
asked Courtney that, and he doesn't think Bowen will be here at the end of next season.
What does Courtney think of Bowen?
Listen to it, and you'll find out.
Watch it. He also has a good opinion about Gruely as well.
What? Ron Gowley?
Yeah, whatever is the big fat prick's name.
Just like how it's not Odyssey, it's Elise.
Yeah, I get it mixed up all the time. Just call me the Tim Della of podcasts.
Tim Della getting Elise and Omar Richards mixed up.
Oh, that's fun. And him calling Gomez Pele.
He confused his arse and his elbow.
I hated that. Pele came out and said, "I want to be called I'm known as Pele. Like, call me Pele."
Okay,
Judilson Gomez. Judilson Gomez.
Apparently, though, that's because of the EFL saying something that they can't use his name. They can't use the name Pele.
They can't use nicknames.
That was just for his show because whenever we're on Sky Sports, they call him Pele.
It's just paperwork features that they have to call him that. But with like Dele Alli with Ali on his back, and with Javier Hernandez being called Chicharito, that's one of those sort of things. So yeah. So how was it? So that's the end. How was your first? Is this your first podcast you've been on?
Yeah,
how was it?
He's been on a few Swindon ones before, surely.
Sadly not, Brian. No, it was very good. I liked it.
Good. So, what I would just before we go and before we leave, what I would like to just say is a big thank you to everyone that sort of listened. Oh,
I almost forgot my question.
You have your question.
I almost forgot my question.
So
right.
This is apparently, is this for both of us or just him? Because you said
just Will. Just
God.
Will. So obviously I know like a bit about you and like what you're doing. So obviously you're working at Swindon at the moment. But I'm a bit confused with like what you want to do in the future, because I know you said you want to go into coaching and that, but I know you're also doing your like a referees course and that. So what are you doing?
So I've put my application in for a promotion in refereeing. Been reffing since I was 14. Obviously, going to be 18 in September. So I've put my application in for a promotion in reffing, so that will get me reffing in tier 6 of non-league. So if I can get successful in that, then that'll be quite good.
What would you rather do, coaching or officiating?
I'm completely undecided. I coach my own team. I'm doing my level 2 at the moment. I've coached for Swindon as well. I've been a number 2. But sort of, I wanted my own team, so that's why I stepped away from that sort of part of it. But yeah, so when I go to like in the future. I'm completely undecided. I'm just sort of keeping them both open. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask the story that I kind of know, but I don't. How did you end up on a Zoom call?
Oh wait. What's this?
How did you end up on a Zoom call with who was it?
Simon Hooper.
Who?
Simon Hooper, Premier League referee.
Yeah. How?
Contacts. Yeah. No. Literally, just like the way that you'll be successful in football is your phone book. That is honestly the way you'll become successful.
It's
by
most
having
successful
a good
in any industry. It's not
phone book.
what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly that. And like in football, that's a massive factor. Like in anything, like you think all these transfer deals, like with Kia, that's exactly that. Like he knew like Puskas' agent. That's how that became a part of it. Stuff like that. Like with Raphael as well. He talked Raphael into terminating his contract at whatever it's Italian.
Sampdoria.
That was it. Because Sampdoria didn't want to sell up to Reading, so termination happened, and then we got the Brazilian Wool on a free transfer.
Right.
So yeah,
that's my question.
They're perfect. Well, there's
contacts.
So with everyone listening and watching at home as well, Will definitely be part of the pod moving forward. He may not be coming on as a guest because he's done it before, but he will be playing a part in if we do any promotional videos, if we do anything on Twitter and stuff, we will be getting Will involved. Yeah, we will.
And I'm sure I'll get more videos of him singing Swindon songs.
Yeah, and we will.
We will.
Yeah, and he will definitely be more involved in the pod because we want to try and get a lot of. We're not a pod that it just does it ourselves. We want to get everyone involved. That's why we're doing Fans Friday. We want everyone involved, and we want more of you guys to sort of be a part of the pod and grow this with us, and you can be a part of the journey that we go on as well.
I must say, even though as much as you do love the sound of your own voice, it's nice that you actually let us have time to answer the questions and like actually let us speak.
Yeah,
so I know some podcasts that I've listened to. Reading ones.
But no, so for me, we're doing this podcast. It's basically I like to talk, but at the same time, other people. I don't agree with it, but other people's opinion count. Apparently, I don't really give a shit. But I agree on that statement as well. So that's why we want to get more people involved. That's why I got Ryan as well, because he has a different sort of, maybe a little bit more different way of looking at things. And that's why we got Will on today, because I know that me and him are differences. But today we discussed it and we got through it, and he knows that I'm right. So it's all good.
I'm only here in case they start fighting.
Yeah.
Again.
Exactly. So all I ask for you guys is please like, share, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening through Apple Music, please subscribe to that as well. If you're on Podbean, please subscribe to that. If you can, I think you can on Podbean. I can't remember with Podbean. But please just subscribe. Please share and write a review as well, just to say this was great to listen to. We just need to get our name out, and we need more people to listen, and we want more people to watch, and we are aiming to, at the end of the year, to be doing a heck of a lot better than what we are now. But that is only through your guys' help. We will carry on doing the same thing. We've got a lot of games coming up over the next, because it's 6 weeks now, or maybe 5 weeks.
Pre-season going back next week.
But this is 6 weeks, 5 weeks until the start of the proper season. So during that time, Courtney will be coming on every Monday, every other Friday or most Fridays. Fans will come on, but we are also, me and Ryan are also going to be doing a lot more games to interact with you guys as well, have a bit of a laugh and joke. So we are pushing forward. We are getting it done. I want to record more because I fucking love doing this. It is absolutely brilliant, and I love interacting with you guys and everyone on the social media. It's more interactive as well than what we've ever had before, and we always try and try and sort of speak back to you guys as much as we can. Even if you disagree with us, it doesn't mean we're going to change our mind about it after 20 minutes and put out a tweet so everyone likes it.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. I didn't mean to say it as well. It doesn't mean you're a fan. And by the way, we don't have fans. We have listeners. We will never call you fans because we don't, unless we make T-shirts and mugs. Because if we make a mug, I'm going to do something of it. I'm going to call the person on the mug a mug. I don't believe in doing that yet. T-shirts will happen, and we will do stuff.
Especially when you're changing your mind every 20 minutes over different Reading shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Selfish prick.
Are you going to buy the new kits?
Oh God, yes. All of them.
I'm getting that home shirt. The home shirt. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
All of them. Goalkeeper kit, away shirt, home shirt, all of it just makes me hard. All of them. So yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Please go and give some love to Will in the comments. Go and follow him on Twitter as well. His link to his Twitter page will be in the description of all the platforms we're on. So please go and give him a follow and give him some love. And yeah, thank you ever so much, guys, for watching. We will see you Tuesday, where we will be talking to Courtney a bit about Baldock and a lot more. We're going to go in a lot more depth about the finances at Reading and what we think and what Courtney thinks we need to do to bring it back, do more stuff. And we're just going to have a bit of a general chat. And Courtney is quite funny as well. I've been texting him as well, and he will want to be talking about Man United as well. I know he will. So we will talk.
Oh no!
The Premier League. So yeah. So everyone.
That's the one thing I hate with him on Twitter when he tweets about United. Like,
you tweet about Swindon.
You tweet about Swindon. You can't talk. You do Swindon for another go. But no, thank you guys ever so much for watching and listening. Please go like and subscribe, and we will see you Tuesday. Peace.